Hello, Simplifiers. How are you doing? My name's Diana. This is Diana Simplifies. Fallon's here. Let's see if she wants to be on camera. I'm gonna say hello. She's cute. She looks a little grumpy. Anyway, Fallon's always here, but she's down here where you can't see her. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you stuck? Oh no. Oh, hang on. Okay. All right. She's okay. All right. Let's talk about decluttering wins and woes. I had to call it something. I just want to do a little talk about decluttering today. I usually just declutter I don't really do a talk about it, but why not? Why not do something different? So I did want to mention, I don't think I've mentioned this, but Spencer and I are doing the Passion Play again this year. He has a lot more practices than I do, so because he's in the actual play. I sing, there's a choir in the background. I sing in the choir. So I don't have as many practices. So I am trying to get all of my Tiny Tuesdays scheduled and everything. So a lot of my stuff has been scheduled way ahead. So if it seems like something's happening in January or February, that's why. Everything is way scheduled out. So I'm scheduled like for about half of April right now. So let's see, right now my birthday is March 14th. I don't think you'll see this before my birthday. I'm not sure what day this is going up, but so anyway, when I scheduled my Tiny Tuesday, I didn't even say, oh, by the way, it's my birthday, and it's actually on a Tuesday. So anyway, but you can wish me a happy birthday right here. We didn't have to do it on the actual day. We went to lunch today after we had practice this morning. We went to lunch. Actually, I'm not feeling that. I have stomach issues. I'm not feeling that great after I went to lunch where I wanted to eat, and I'm just like, ugh. Even while I was there, I was like, this food's kind of greasy. I don't think this is going to sit well. Okay, so kind of a funny story, just to kind of give you some motivation to kind of look around the items that are in your house. Maybe just take a look in your closet. Maybe just in particular, look at your shoes. I was wearing, we call them, I don't know if it's a Southern thing, but I always call these house shoes, the shoes that I wear around the house. Everyone else, I think, calls them slippers. I had my house shoes on. I've worn these, every single day for months because I wear like flip-flop, I have them sitting here, like the Dollar Tree ones. I wear these in the summertime, spring, summer, early fall, whatever. But once it gets cold, I wear my house shoes, slippers, whatever you would like to call them. So I have these, and these come out, what are these? Isotoner. I really like these. These come out you can see it's kind of sparkly. These come out every year. Sam's has them for like $9 or $10. And so I always get a pair. And this year, I think I was trying to save money or something, so I didn't get a pair. So guess what? Now I don't have a new pair of isotoners. So I put these on the other day. I had them on. I was walking around the house, and I kept feeling like I was stepping on something. And I was like, that's weird. Well, it's a cat toy, I'm sure. I look down. I don't see a thing. I'm like looking down. I see nothing on the floor. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. And we have a lot of cat toys laying around. So, I thought, well, maybe I just kicked it, and it's just, I just don't see it. I kicked it when I was walking. Well, I walked a little bit further. I felt something again. I was like, I'm stepping on something. So I looked at the bottom of my shoe. Turns out my shoes are falling apart. You can see this one's really bad. But look at this. I'm like, I told Spencer, I said, it's like they probably been falling apart for a while, but I didn't notice. And another funny story, a lady came to church, and I think she had pulled a pair of boots out of her closet. It's still been a little bit cool here. So it's kind of springy, but today's colder. But whatever day it was, she had some boots or something she pulled out of her closet. And I think they began I don't think she looked at them that carefully. It's probably dark in the closet. She's probably like, I hadn't worn these in a long time. I'll wear these. They started falling apart. This stuff was flicking off of it, I think, in the car. And she was looking on the floorboard of the car, and she was like, what is all this black stuff? Her shoes were falling apart on her feet. And so she was walking into church. They were falling apart during church. She was so embarrassed because the stuff was just coming off everywhere during church. So anyway, just a couple of shoe examples. Maybe we should all take a look. In fact, when I'm finished with this video, I'm gonna go in my closet and just take a look, especially at my boots, because I think I only wore a couple pairs of my boots this year. Some of them aren't that comfortable. So even for short amounts of time, even though they're really super cute, just even going to church, my back will hurt for the rest of the day, So it's like, it's not worth it, but I still have them. I didn't get rid of them because occasionally I do still wear them. So I think I need to look at all my boots and just see what's going on, see if anything's falling apart. But anyway, just a little, that's my decluttering woe. Actually, my decluttering win is that I took those off and immediately I was like, it's time to get rid of these. I'm not gonna keep it, I'm not gonna keep on keeping them. It's time for them to go. And the only reason they're still here is because I wanted to make the video and talk about it. Another thing, I was walking into the dining room and I had pulled this out of a closet. I had bought this years and years ago. I'd never used it. It's a red tablecloth. It's beautiful. I don't usually get cloth ones because of my cats. They all have claws. And so Mila especially, I think she's been a little bit sick. She's the one with the eye issue, but she also had some platelet issues, which were just strange. So I think she sometimes has a little trouble getting up on the table. So what ends up happening is she jumps up on the table. She's not scratching the table because I have something under it that protects the table. It's a nice table, so we don't want her scratching up our table. But I don't know how well you can see it. It's really pulled. She's just pulled the heck of it out of it. So I walk through there, and every day I look at this tablecloth, and I'm like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. And this is going to be another one of my decluttering wins, I'm going to call it. I walked through there one day, and I'm like, you know what? We had Christmas, which red for Christmas. We had Valentine's Day, red for Valentine's Day. We're past all that now. We're getting closer to Easter. I'm gonna find something else to put on the table, and they're gonna tear that up too. Just be aware, they're gonna tear that up too. But I'm gonna find something different, decorative to put on the table that they're going to ruin, but I'm just done with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that go, that tablecloth. Now, here's one of my woes. This, in January when we were decluttering everything, I was using this up. There's a tiny, tiny little bit in here, but I think I'm just done because I don't even like the scent. I've used the whole thing, even though I really didn't care for the scent. And so this has been sitting in my shower, laying actually just like this so I could get it out. Laying in my shower since January. During the January declutter, I was gonna get rid of this. And you see now we're very close. What is today? Is this like the 10th or the 11th? I think this is the 11th of March, possibly. And yeah, I think that's right. And it's still, so 2 months it's been just laying here, for me in my shower, not getting rid of. So that's one of my woes. So just another example of something to look for. Do you have, one of the things they always talk about, like Minimal Mom, I think discusses this, and also Dana from, what is she? A Slob Comes Clean. I get the slobs confused. There's another slob. Secret Slobs, my other one I like. But Dana White mentions, get rid of your trash first. How easy is this? I looked in the shower when I was pulling this out. I was like, is there any other trash in here? Is this the only trash? So in my shower right now, that's the only trash. I am getting rid of that. So that was a little bit of a woe because it's been sitting there 2 months, which is ridiculous, really. And then this is a win, actually. I did just put a little bit of water in there. I am just going to use a little bit of not even probably going to use the rest of this up, but I just put enough water to get the main soap out here because it smells so good. It's peach. This is one of my Dollar Tree finds from a year ago, and I wish I'd bought them out because it smells amazing. It's one of my favorites. But anyway, I used this up a few days ago, and I didn't throw it away, and I didn't throw it away, and finally, I think yesterday I put a little water. You can see there's just a little bit of water in here just to get the dregs out of it and just enjoy the rest of it. But I'd already put another pump in the bathroom, and it's like, why? Why? Because it makes me I'm like a messy person. That was the other thing I want to discuss. So that's my wins and my woes. But I just one more thing I want to discuss. I don't want this to go on all day, but I was watching Simply This Life. That's Candace. If you haven't watched her, and I love her channel because she's always decluttering. She's telling you how to declutter. She's telling you how to be more clutter-free. She's telling you how to simplify everything. And of course, I love that because I love to simplify. But whatever we can simplify, we should do it, right? Just make our lives a little easier, run a little bit more smoothly. Now Fallon's pawing at me. I don't know that you can see her, but she's giving it this. So anyway, Candace did a video. Sorry, now I got cat hair in my face. Candace did a video the other day, and I did just have to take a little bit of issue with her because she said, I want to say that she said, there's no such thing as a messy person. You just need to declutter. And I'm like, excuse me, messy person here. And I'm not saying that because to me, that's not, a lot of people say, well, you're talking negatively to yourself. I'm really not. I'm not looking down on myself. But I do feel like some of us are messier than others. We are a little more chaotic than others. If I'm not super careful, my vehicle, I will begin to live in my car, and my car just will explode with stuff. I have to be very, very careful, or that's happening over and over. Some of you have been around long enough to see me when I decluttered my car and I brought all this stuff in. Why? Why am I living in a car with all this stuff? Yes, I use my car a lot. Yes, I'm in it for hours certain days of the week. But I don't need to really live in it, do I? But that's kind of how I end up being if I'm not careful. So I've started doing the 5-minute pickups that Dana K. White talks about. And I think Fly Lady discusses it too. There's so many channels that talk about this. I don't want to leave someone out, but the ones that I hear talking about it, Dana K. White and Fly Lady talk about, doing things for a few minutes. Fly Lady is more like, work for 5 minutes, work for 2 minutes, work for 3 minutes. And then Dana will talk about the 5-minute pickups. I'm finding it doesn't matter how much I declutter. If I do not do these 5 or 10-minute pickups, my life is still one big chaotic mess. Because, okay, I'll just give you an example. My husband, very organized, he doesn't even realize. I was talking to him about this the other day. I'm like, I don't think you realize kind of how rigid you are. He walks in the door. He has certain things he's putting away. He does the same thing in the morning. He gets up in the morning. He has certain things that he goes to the refrigerator. He does this. He goes to the other. We have 2 refrigerators. He goes to the other one. He gets this, and this out. He puts his stuff in his cooler. He gets his stuff together. He puts it by the door, which I kind of do that too, but I do it in more of a chaotic way. He's like very rigid. This. And I watch him and I'm like, I should be more like him. If I was this rigid, which I'm never going to be because that's not my personality. If I was more rigid, my life would be less chaotic. He comes home, he has a piece of furniture right here in our bedroom, one little piece of furniture, he has his stuff up there, he unloads his pockets, this is his thing right here, and I don't bother that stuff. I pick it up and dust it, but I don't bother his stuff. But same thing, he brings his cooler home, puts his cooler, the stuff that's in his cooler, takes it out, and I do some of that, but I have a thing where like I'll have this jacket I'll have a certain jacket for walking the dog. With the way the wind's been blowing, I've had to wear my rain pants, which also hold or like really good for wind proof. My wind pants, my wind jacket, a coat over the wind jacket because if it's cold, I gotta have 2 jackets because it's too cold for just the rain jacket and all this. And I notice if I don't come in after the walk and put those clothes away, they'll be laying around. And then it's time for me to go to work. I have a different coat for that, put that coat on, come home, all this stuff's laying around. I might change clothes a couple times during the day because, obviously I'm sleeping in something. I go to work in something. When I get home, I might change into something else, something more comfortable or just something that feels cleaner because I'm cleaning people's houses and it's a filthy job. Let's just be honest. And so I might have 2 or 3 changes of clothes laying around in my bathroom. That's kind of how I operate. And if I don't make myself have these 5-minute pickups, then my life is one big chaos. My den, my family room is one big chaos. And it's ridiculous. And it's probably within 5 minutes of being cleaned up or 10 at the most. But I do think it's okay to say I'm a messy person. I'm not rigid like my husband. I don't come in and just do, this little rigid thing that he does every single day of his life. And I'm telling you, out of 365 days in the past year, one day I can remember picking his stuff up and putting it away for him because he got distracted. I'm always distracted because I'm like everywhere. But he got distracted, went outside, started doing something, completely forgot to put his cooler and stuff away. So I just did it for him. I didn't even say, by the way, your stuff, I just put it away. But it's like, I'm just not rigid like that. And he doesn't think of himself as being rigid. So I think it's okay to call myself messy. And I think if you want to call yourself messy, it's okay. If you're not really super rigid in the way you're doing things, maybe you're super OCD and you're not messy. And that is fantastic. But I don't think it's a bad thing to be a little more chaotic and a little more messy. I don't find it to be a bad thing. I find that I have to do a 5-minute pickup. That's all I'm saying. I have to. If I don't do that, my kitchen table's a mess. The area over my microwave where I have some papers, that's a mess. My bathroom's a mess. My bathroom is one big chaos. My family room's a mess. Now all these other rooms stay pretty nice. Sometimes this room becomes a dumping ground. I've got a couple things I decluttered sitting there. I've got to find a place for those because there are certain things I take to the food pantry that nobody will pick up. And these 2 things sitting right here, no one will pick those up. So I'm going to have to physically take those like to Goodwill or somewhere. There's nothing wrong with them. It needs to go to a Goodwill. I'm not going to throw it away. So anyway, this is my decluttering woes and wins for today. I hope you've enjoyed the talk. I hope I haven't talked your ear off too much, but I just wanted to discuss that. Somebody actually said this to me when I wasn't trying to be mean to Candace or completely disagree with her, but I just said, I've been decluttering for years and I still consider myself to be messy. I just am. I'm not, and it's not a bad, it's not a bad thing to me. It's just my personality. That's the way I am. And another lady came alongside me and she says, maybe you're just a little bit untidy. Maybe that's what you should call yourself. I'm like, because she felt like I was being, I guess if you say you're messy, you're negative. I'm like, it doesn't have negative connotations to me. I just know I got to do a 5-minute pickup. That's what's helping. That is right now what's helping me. At some point, maybe I won't need that. But right now I'm still needing that. Maybe at some point I'll be so disciplined that I won't need to pick up. But right now I have to have that. And so when she said, well, maybe you're just a little untidy. I'm like, what's the difference? Untidy, messy? Is there a difference? I mean, really, is that less negative? I don't know. But I just said, to me, that's the same word. And I don't feel like it's a negative connotation. I'm not attaching negative feelings. I don't have negative self-talk. I'm not being mean to myself. And how dare you not put your stuff up the minute you walk in the door? Honestly, I don't care. Whether it gets put up right away or not, if it's 6 hours later, to me, that's fine. That's just my personality. It's just not bothering me. But yes, at some point it needs to go away because the next day I'm going to be pulling stuff out. It might be a different coat. Ranger might need a different coat for that. I might need a different coat for Ranger's walk that day because the weather's totally different because the weather's just, you want to talk about chaos. The weather here is chaos. It's complete chaos. All right. So anyway, thanks for being here. I'll see you guys later. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.